Welcome back to the Haunted Pub Crawl from Pursuit of the Paranormal. It's been a good while, a few months since we last had an episode on the mainstream. We have had Patreon exclusive episodes, so make sure you check that out if you're not already a Patreon member. But yeah, we're back on the mainstream with a new episode of the Haunted Pub Crawl. And we are still in the north of England. We still have a long way to go. So many more episodes still to come. For this episode, we are in Blackpool, still up in the northwest coast, a very beautiful Blackpool, one of my favourite places to holiday. Nice, usually pretty cheap, and it's just cool. Arcades, donuts, fish and chips, Irish clubs, all very good. And skinny dipping in the Irish Sea. Very cold, but pretty refreshing as well. Good memories from Blackpool. Anyway, so I'm going to look at a couple of haunted pubs from out in Blackpool. And the first one is the Frenchman's Cove. And with most of these episodes that we've done, if you listen to the previous ones, most of these pubs are quite old pubs with some incredible history. Some of them are hundreds and hundreds of years old. I think we've even got to 800-900-year-old pubs. Inns that we talked about with these ghostly stories and these spirits lingering around. So this one, Frenchman's Cove, which is on South King Street, close to Blackpool shopping district, has only been a bar or restaurant since the 90s. So quite different to the usual pubs we talk about, and doesn't seem to fit that pattern of an old pub with a lot of history. But it was renovated from a longer standing tobacco warehouse. As it was renovated into the novelty tourist spot it is today, with a pirate looking down from an upper story balcony, workmen regularly complained of an uneasy feeling like they were being watched as they were carrying out their building work, and not by the pirate. Once it was open to the public, it started to have a very specific haunting. Doors in the ladies' toilets have a nasty habit of opening and closing themselves. It's not exactly an uncommon occurrence, with plenty of stories of startled customers getting a nasty surprise when they're alone in there late at night. Ghosts in toilets are quite a very common occurrence, and reportings from up and down the country. I mean, being that vulnerable, sat in the toilet, must make it so much more scary, and maybe a bit harder to quickly get yourself ready and out of there. Yeah, lots of bathroom stories, so maybe that's an episode idea coming in. Billy Johnson, the current owner, believes he has found archived materials, an article, and a photograph of a young woman called Laura Shoons, who originally came from Scarborough. They now believe her to be the ghost who has taken up permanent residency in Frenchman's Cove. Later at night, staff claim to have witnessed ghostly goings-on, particularly in the cellar, from feelings of otherworldly, keeping an eye on them, to claims of seeing a full-body apparition of a young woman. Is this Laura Shoons? Like I say, quite a new pub, and this seems to be the only spirit that has been seen there, this young lady. We don't know who she is. We don't know her story. Maybe we need to get some investigators in there to maybe try and communicate with her and find out a bit more. Just having a quick break, maybe I'll tell in my voice. I'm coming out of a 3 or 4 week cough and cold that I've had. I'm going to have a pain editing all these coughs out at the end, but let's move on to the next location we're going to have a look at, and that is the Foxhall, which is a popular Blackpool hotel situated on Manchester Square on the lovely promenade. As it stands today, the hotel is a tribute to the early beginnings of Blackpool, when the town was quiet and rural and the first inhabitants started a settlement on the land. Supposedly named after a fox that was kept chained near to the property, Foxhall was constructed towards the end of the 17th century by Edward Tyldesley. The property was lived in by his son Thomas Tyldesley, who kept the diary during his time there. Over time, Foxhall changed purpose from residency to a farmhouse, and then a hotel and a pub. By the 1980s, the building had fallen mainly into ruin, and it was decided that it would be demolished. That took place, and the new Foxhall building was completed and opened in 1991 on the site where the home once stood. So it was built up over the old land where the old building was. And although the last remains of Blackpool's oldest home have been lost forever, it would seem that there are a few spirits still lingering. It's said that Foxhall was the perfect location for priests to seek refuge, as well as being a hotel for smugglers and members of the aristocracy. There was also a private chapel, and the thick walls were home to many priest holes and secret passages. The ghosts of these former occupants are reported to still haunt the land where the Foxhall stands today, with many eyewitnesses claiming to have heard eerie sounds and seen ghostly shadows within the building. Brooms and brushes have been seen by staff to launch themselves into the air when nobody's near them, and with some workers claiming to be too scared to go to certain parts of the building alone. The Foxhall is now, I think it's Reflex Disco, type 90s, 80s dance club. Very sticky floor as well, I've been in there myself. But again, some very, very old history. So we've got one from the fairly new pub, this Frenchman's Cove, to this, which was one of the first properties built on the Blackpool waterfront. And actually, in kind of looking into these pubs, I found a lot of really weird stuff in Blackpool. I don't just mean ghostly stories and creepy stories, but ghosts and creepy stories that are weird as well, in weird places, and have weird stories and weird legends around them. So much so that I'm actually going to do a full-length episode looking just at Blackpool and all these stories, these places, these locations, these people. Really, really weird stuff that I've been finding out about Blackpool. So I'm going to look forward to talking about that one, and I may have a guest joining me for that episode. So that's it for this return to the Haunted Pub Crawl. Join us either next week or the week after. We'll have another new episode and also some exclusive content on Patreon coming up. As always, please share the post, please hit that like button, tell us with your friends. Any support really, really does help, especially as we get back into this, getting more content out there. So yeah, thank you to everyone that's stuck with us, and I will speak to you all soon. Goodbye.